On Friday, I'm reviewing biopics based on the lives of popular musicians. But Song Sung Blue is a biopic of a different type. This one is about a married couple who perform as a Neil Diamond tribute band. Does this different wrinkle make the formula more interesting? I'm Brad, this is Watch, Rate, Heart, and let's get to the review. Directed by Craig Brewer, this is the biopic of a married couple performing as a Neil Diamond cover band, Song Sung Blue, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. Just to note, all scores are as of February 16th, 2026, and are subject to change. There's a Letterboxd score of 3.3 out of 5, and IMDb of 7.3 out of 10. Wow, that's a lot higher. It has Rotten Tomatoes of 78% fresh and a Metacritic of 61. As for accolades, it was nominated for Best Actress for Kate Hudson, and has got a BAFTA nomination for Best Lead Actress for Kate Hudson. Man, there's a lot to say about Song Sung Blue, even though there really isn't much to it. Let's get to the positives real quick. I think Hudson and Jackman are very charming together. I think as a couple, they work incredibly well. Not only looking at the romance department, which is not a lot of the film really, but as they're performing as singers, I think they actually work really well. But with Hudson's performance doesn't get really good until the hour-plus mark, where there is a big twist that happens. And this is going to lead me right into the negatives of the movie. The dramatic tension of this movie resolves way too quickly. Like, way too quickly, even for the twist. What ends up happening a lot in this movie is that there is a conflict that happens, and then either in that same scene or the next scene is resolved. There really isn't anything in this movie. If there is a conflict, within a minute or so, it's resolved automatically. We can go into when the couple first meets, to when the family meets Hugh Jackman, to when they go through their first concert, to when they start getting pot. Like, everything gets resolved within seconds. Except for when it comes to the twist. Now, I'm not going to spoil the twist, but I will say that the conflict that happens within the twist also gets resolved a little too quickly as well. And I think the big problem of the film is that it's not only way too long, but they try to pack so much into the movie. They have to resolve those conflicts really quickly. Like, this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes. It shouldn't be. I think max, it should be about an hour and 45. Here's what I would have done. So, if you've watched the commercials and the trailers, you're seeing a lot about the romance and about them singing. And to be honest with you, that's like an hour of the film. So most of the film isn't even that. What I would have done was taken that hour before the twist, truncated it to about maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then go from there with the twist that happens in the hour-plus mark. For me, the film goes on way too long. And yeah, at certain points it's satisfying, and certain points it's charming, but in terms of quality, it isn't all that great. It's fine for what it is. It goes through the melodramatic cliches that you'd expect, even though this is based on a true story. But the story isn't all that compelling, and it doesn't really get good until that twist, and then that twist resolves itself within, I'd say, about 20 to 30 minutes. Or what I think it should have been was, you have the 10-15 minutes where they meet and they fall in love, and then they go to the cover band thing. Then the rest of the film should be what the twist is, and then ends the way it ends there. I can't say I hated the movie, but I really wasn't entirely impressed by it, even though I will say, now that I have seen the movie, I understand why Kate Hudson got nominated for Best Actress this year. She deserves it. It's actually a really good performance. But again, I can't go into specifics as to why without spoiling the twist. So, unfortunately, I can't really explain that. Now, with every episode of Watch, Rate, Heart, I not only give you my opinions on the films I've watched, I also give the opinions of the Letterboxd community. And this one's from Justin DeCloud. Justin gives it 3.5 stars out of 5, and Justin says, it basically works, but there's a documentary that tells the same story that's much more compelling. Yes, this is based off of a documentary called Song Sung Blue. I think it was around 2005, 2006. I have not seen it, but I'm kind of curious as how that is after watching this film. Maybe I will watch it another time. This next review is from Damien. Damien really liked this. He gives it 4 stars out of 5 with a heart, and Damien says, one of the biggest surprises of the year for me, as soon as I had a feel for things, I get a gut punch out of nowhere. That is true. The twist comes out of nowhere in this film. Just feels so human. He was a performer through and through. He is so much fun to watch. Kate is incredible. Easily one of, if not the best of her career. I actually agree with that. But that's also because Kate Hudson's career hasn't been all that great after Almost Famous. So there's that. She should get Oscar buzz. She got nominated. If not, I Riot. Well, we don't have to worry about that. The movie could be possibly a little bit shorter, but that doesn't bother me all that much. I think that's a common criticism for a lot of the reviewers I've seen. And if the movie hit well for them, they didn't care all as much, but if it didn't, they used that as a big issue with the film. This next review is from Cineman. Cineman gives it 3 stars out of 5, and Cineman says, if you live long enough, you can see your dreams die a slow death. Oh, Lord. That's basically the film. And finally, this last review is from Wonder Meg. Wonder Meg gives it 1.5 stars out of 5, and Wonder Meg gives it one of the most mature and most well thought out reviews I have seen on the Letterboxd. And she says, song, sung, poo. Well said, Wonder Meg. Well said. Okay, so in review, I think Hudson and Jackman actually work very well together. They're very charming together. Hudson's performance doesn't really get good until the hour-plus mark, but when it does, it really hits very well. Unfortunately, there's a lack of dramatic tension in the film because it resolves way too quickly, even after the twist happens, and I really feel like the film should have been at least 15 to 20 minutes shorter. I was vacillating between 2 different ratings, and it was going to be between 2.5 and 3. I'm going to give the film 2.5 stars out of 5. It's a fine movie for what it is. I think the actors are really what make this film watchable, and especially Kate Hudson's performance. I can't say I was bored with the film, but I also wasn't really engaged all that much. So 2.5 stars out of 5 for me for Song Sung Blue. Check it out if you are interested. And that is it for this episode of Watch Rate Heart. But before I go, let me give you a rundown of this week's content. On either Wednesday or Thursday, I'll have a review of the film Better Man, which is the biopic of Robbie Williams. But instead of it being Robbie Williams, he's a monkey. I still don't understand that, but we'll find out when I review it. And Friday is our watch list episode, and we're going to be reviewing A Complete Unknown, Rocket Man, Love and Mercy, and Evita. I know that is not a musical biopic. That is a biopic musical. It kind of still fits. Those are coming throughout the week. Check them out when they release. If you liked any of the reviewers I've highlighted in this episode, you can check out the video description for a link to their Letterboxd profile, and be sure to give them a follow and let them know that Brad from Watch Rate Heart sent you. You can follow me on Letterboxd and X at Watch Rate Heart. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and share with your friends. I'm Brad from Watch Rate Heart. Thank you for watching, and remember, we all watch and rate movies, but you give them the heart that makes them live forever.